neither have I. Hey, we're back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Chamber Chat. Coxi's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Jessica's here. Good morning.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Wonderful.
So I went on my rant about the masks, and y'all asked me.
Are you being real? I was so like, their conversation was so serious about it, and you're like, I really didn't know, and I'm all, I didn't know that either. Is this real?
I tell you what's not real, or what is real apparently, is have you seen the video clip of our poor president?
I saw his scary bunny rabbits he hired. That was a nightmare.
Oh my gosh. He was out there, he was talking to somebody, they were asking him about Afghanistan or whatever. And it was during the Easter egg roll, so they got all the kids running around out there with the Easter eggs at the I think it's the South Lawn at the White House. And all of a sudden, as Biden's trying to answer the question that's being asked from the people he's talking to, this 6-foot-tall, ginormous bunny comes up and starts waving its hands. And Biden goes, "Oh, look, a bunny." And they go walking off.
That was his out. Had they been vetted?
Wow.
I hadn't
did not
seen a
see
rabbit that scary since family photos from the 70s. Can't they make them cuter?
Those are funny.
Wow.
I don't know if you heard me talking about the Sony picture phones. I don't know if you ever had, if your parents or if you ever saw those.
Nope. No, I heard you talking about them, and I lost you whenever you said something about this connects to this, which connects to this, then it has to be in the wall. And I was like, that was way over my head.
Yeah, well, back in the day, like this phone right here has a cord on it, and the cord on this phone is plugged into it's a Wi-Fi thing, a Bluetooth thing up there. But back in the day, it used to have a wall jack. Okay.
Yeah.
So this thing went in between the wall jack and the phone. Oh. So you'd go from the wall jack with the cord, plug it into the picture phone, and then you'd plug your phone into the picture phone.
Okay. Kind of like modems.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what it was.
Okay.
It was a 1980s modem that took black and white low-res images and then would fax them to the other device at the other end.
And it would print?
You could buy a printer.
Wow.
And then print the photo that you sent across the
or it would just show up on their screen.
Show up on their screen. Little 2x3 black and white low-res image.
And then would it save, or would the next one just replace it?
It would retain it in the memory of the device, but then you could get out the tape recorder. Like you could hook it up to a Walkman.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
You could hook it up to a Walkman, put a cassette tape in it, hook it up to this device, hit record, and then send the picture to the cassette tape recorder. And so now you had the picture on your cassette tape recorder, and you could hook it up to another picture phone or to a picture phone printer.
And what does a picture sound like on a tape?
And then you hit play.
I don't get it.
And then you hit play, and as it's playing off the tape, the picture would show up on your device or it would print on the printer.
I guess it's like saving a photo on a CD.
Which is over my head.
Yeah.
I don't understand how any of that works.
But you said it best.
You're using a tape as a memory device, just like a jump drive or whatever, but it's a tape.
Yes.
That is so weird. So what if you tried to play it? What would it sound like? Like she said.
That's what it would sound like.
For real?
For real.
And then would it mess up the photo if you played it like that?
I don't know. I've never actually done that into a printer recorder. If I did that into a printer, what would the image come out that would look like? Yeah, the very first computer I had, there was a little computer, and then you hooked it up to a black and white TV, little portable black and white TV, so that was your monitor.
Okay.
And then as you were writing code and you needed to save what you wrote, I had it hooked up to a little desktop cassette tape recorder. And I'd hit record on the cassette, and then I'd go save to thing, and it would record. Of course, we're talking about 2-3 seconds of audio because we're talking teeny tiny little programs at the time.
Wow.
And then you'd label your cassette, budget program or.
So this is before the floppy disk and.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. There was a time.
I had no idea that there was something even before that, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now you can get little thumb drives with, 100 and 200 some odd gig. You get SSD hard drives in computers now, terabytes and
Oh, yeah.
all that kind of stuff. The very I can't remember if it's this version or the prior version of this automation system software. Hard drive space was such a premium. It cost so much to buy hard drive space that the sound card would compress. It was using a 4-to-1 compression algorithm. So it would compress the audio file down so it wouldn't take up much space on the hard drive. And then when you went to play the audio file on the air, it would uncompress the audio file. But it went through all this machination to minimize the size of the file on the hard drive because hard drive space was such a
There's no
expensive thing.
There's no stupid questions, right, Gene?
Correct.
Okay. I don't understand how telephone wires work. And
Yeah.
why do we still have them? Why is there telephone poles with wires?
Well, they're, if you talk to CBE, they're not telephone poles, they're utility poles.
Okay.
And they
it's
carry more than just your
cheaper to put it on a pole than to bury it.
But
But a lot of people are burying, neighborhoods and things are burying them now.
it's what carries your power, it's what carries your cable. If you use cable for TV or internet,
So when you're on your landline, you're talking on your phone,
just plain old telephone, like this thing right here. Okay.
sound waves are traveling
Yes.
through those wires.
Actual sound waves. Yes. There's no analog. It's not converted to digital.
That's
Now,
bonkers.
when the phone company went to all their digital stuff, then your phone voice is converted to digital at the central office, and then it travels over the fiber and goes all over the world. And then when it gets back to the device, it's converted back into analog, and the vibrations based on your frequency and modulation make the little speaker frequency and modulate. And
It's
so
amazing.
that you understand what you're hearing on the other side.
Wow.
Pretty amazing stuff.
It's amazing.
Because, back in the day, before the telephone became real popular, we had the Morse code, and that was dots and dashes. And so they would click, 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 and then that would send a little electrical pulse that would go over
So
the
like
wires.
the operator with the wall?
Routing calls, telegraph, thank you. They're routing calls. So they were, the operators manually made the connection between your phone through the equipment to the wires. They look kind of like
Yeah.
that patch panel
Yeah.
up there. And which that's what that is. That's a patch panel. So you have all your different sources lined up on there, and you say, okay, I want to go from this to this. Of course, now that's all done electronically. But yes, that's what the operators did. So when you called in your phone, the light would light up above your, and you say, I want to talk to Coxi. Well, she was over here. So they take the wire and they go, and it would complete that circuit and send that call through those, connect those wires together, basically. And so your speaking would go through that and go over there. Now it's all done with computers and electronics and fiber, and, it's all data, basically. It's just all data.
Amazing.
It is.
Unbelievable.
It is. So
Okay.
it's kind of crazy. But yeah, there are no dumb questions. Now, I can give you a dumb answer.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll fact check you later.
Yeah. But that's why a string and two cans worked.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Because basically your voice is the sound wave is modulated over that string.
Crazy.
Pull the string tight, and so that wave form, that's what radio is. It's waveforms that go out on certain frequencies, and then your radio receiver receives them and converts it back to make the speaker come up.
How do walkie-talkies work?
They operate on a very specific frequency range, but they work the same way. So they transmit and receive a signal on a
Radio.
radio wave, on a very specific frequency range, so they don't interfere with other things.
Wow. And someone figured all of this out.
Yes. Alexander Graham Bell. It's his fault. Here's one that I've never really known. How did they know back in the day when they first came out with the touch-tone phone that we would use pound and star to do things? How did we know that? They put them on there. They put them on the phone. There was no function for them at the time they put them on the phone. Because you put the numbers on there and then you got the two spaces there. So what are you going to put in those two spaces?
They didn't have a function when they did that?
I bet they did.
No.
Why would they have done that without a reason?
Exactly.
I bet they had plans.
Or they were like, hey, these two symbols will fill these two voids. Boom.
Yeah.
I think that's what they did.
This needs to balance out.
Yeah. Because it wasn't on a rotary phone.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
It was only 1 through 9 and then a 0.
Mm-hmm.
So, or was the 0
I
at
never
the top?
thought about that.
I forget.
I can't remember. They probably came different ways so that you were cool.
Yeah.
My zero's on top.
Mine was on the bottom.
Yeah. So, then we didn't have those on there.
Yeah, no, it was just the numbers.
So they come out with the pulse styling and the touch tone keypad, and they said, okay, well, we got 3 rows of 3 numbers, and then we got 1 number for the 0. What do we put in the other thing?
I think they had plans. Why would they put that on there? It's very specific.
Yeah, I know. Of all the symbols that they could have put on there, they put a star and a pound. And then we call it the pound sign, even though that's not what it's technically called. Or the @ symbol. Yeah. Anyway.
It's hashtag now.
And now it's hashtag. That's right. How did we go from pound to hashtag?
How did we go from number to pound?
Exactly.
Oh, probably because
So hand a
that
phone
many pounds.
hand a phone to the kid and say, look, and if you want to reach the extension, you hit the hashtag. Is that what you tell them now?
Yeah,
Or if you say hit
Probably.
the pound key and they don't know what you're talking about,
they don't.
No.
you say no. Hit
Or
the
you train them on both and say, this is...
I hardly knew
if
what
someone tells you pound, this is what it is, which is now hashtag, but you need to know that some people still say pound.
That's right.
That's what I would say.
I've seen those videos on there. They'll hand them a rotary dial phone and say, okay, make a call. Or what is this?
Oh, yeah, Ellen did that. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took them a long time.
Is that before she yelled at her help and they all quit and then she had to end her show?
I think so.
Okay.
Is her show over? I keep waiting for it to end. But I quit watching 6 years ago, so I'm not sure what's going
I
on.
haven't watched it. I mean, we have jobs now. We can't watch daytime TV anymore.
Exactly.
Are you like the guy that was watching TV? He's watching golf and only realized after 20 minutes that the picture was frozen.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to break for the news.
Yeah, then we'll talk
Do
chamber
you have
chat.
chamber stuff?
We do.
All right. Chamber chat and more coming up as you